Hello, 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 this is Frida. Welcome to my channel. For this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to knit. Yes, it's a knit hat, and it's super easy. All you need is yarn from your stash. This is definitely a yarn eater. So let's get started. Okay, so this is a bucket hat that I've been trying to figure out how to knit, because most of the bucket hats or hats are done crocheted. But the thing is, I wanted to do something knit, and doing lots of trials. I'm going to write a pattern. If you want this pattern in pattern written, I'm going to charge five Canadian. If you're Canadian, 5 USA. Because USA, I can send you a PayPal invoice, and there's a fee on PayPal. So that is the reason. But I, unfortunately, this took me, I'm not going to say decades. I'm not going to say years, but it was in my head for so long. And you just need to have the appetite. Like, it's really hard to design it, to make something, and it's done in a round. I know there's a seam here. I don't know why it's supposed to be happening that way. I don't know, maybe because of changing one row to another. I did work on a different pattern. It does not have that seam on that one. So I did try this on a flat. Unfortunately, it does not work on a flat. It's worse. I tried it, and the best way is to do it in a round. You need a circular needle to do this. You can try it if you want. I'm going to give you how to knit it, but I would highly recommend doing it around, because I tried it. Believe it or not, I knit so many hats. I never pulled them apart because I'm going to donate hats, right? So it doesn't matter for me. But other than that, yeah, this is the best one that I have came up with, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's super easy, actually, but I think you need to be, I don't know, I can't say that you need to be an expert. It depends on how you knit, right? It's done, as you can see, the back and the front are the same. It's reversible. You can wear it any way you want, but I would highly recommend this part because it's way better, I guess. So the yarn that I use, I would highly recommend using wool. Yeah, that's another thing, because wool gives you that the thickness and that stiff. I think that's the word. So I used you need a 4-weight yarn or a bulky, chunky yarn. Either way, this is a 4-weight. Let me see. So this is superwash wool plus bamboo. So it's a very nice yarn. And I had this in my no, actually, I bought this. This was my newcomers. I didn't even do a yarn unboxing because I was focusing on the hat. I will do that. I have other yarn coming. So 50% superwash wool, 20% bamboo, 29, I believe that's what it is. Can't see it, so tiny, polymide. It was on sale for $10. Now it's up to 13 Canadian. So yeah, I'm trying not to go over that $20 because I don't want to pay custom fee. So you need 2 of this. You finish one and then you use this, and you just have a little bit left over, which is this. So you need total of 2, or if you have chunky yarn, that would work. That would work, bulky, chunky. On the other hat that I used to make the 4-weight, I'm just using like the yarn in my stash. Well, this one I already bought. I just wanted to see the yarn, the quality, and I used it for the hat. So this is a 5. This would work as well. Okay, so yeah, It was the Lion brand. Oh, no, this is not the one. Oh, what did I do with the... it's in the garbage. Just let me grab it. Sorry about it. I'm knitting like crazy and finishing balls. So this is the Wool Ease Thick and Quick. It is bulky, with 6 weight. And I used a 7mm knitting needle. Let me see, what does it recommend? It recommends a 9. That's too big. Yeah, if you're making a hat, you don't want it sloppy, right? You want it thick and full. So I used a 7. Well, it depends on your knitting, right? If you're a tight knitter, go with a 8. Try it, but yeah. Other than that, that's what I use on the second hat. So I am going to in this tutorial. Again, this is from my stash. I bought it last year or 2 years ago. I can't remember. I'm using this Red Heart Super Saver Umbrella, but I don't need the umbrella because I'm gonna pull one from the inside and one from the outside to knit this hat. And I think I can make 2. I'm not quite sure. If I can make 1 hat of this, I can use it on my knitting machine. So I'm not that worried about it. So you need a 4 weight to make this tutorial, like I said, to make this hat. And I am going to use a 7mm knitting needle because I'm going to double strand it. And what you need to do is you need to cast on a total of 100 stitches on a circular needle. And let's get started. Okay, so I have cast on a total of 100 stitches on the circular needle. I'm using a 7. And let me just measure how long is my... This is an old, over a decade I bought this circular needle. It's Addy. The wire is very stiff, never softened. You can find bucket hat tutorials, spiral hat tutorials on my YouTube channel, Green Crocheted. So I have several of them in different stitches as well. So this is about 31 inches from tip to tip. Try not to twist while you're at it. I cast on a total of 100 stitches plus 1. That one I'm going to knit together to get rid of that space. I've been doing that for years, and if you have subscribed to my channel, you can see the difference when you knit 2 together. So 1 stitch extra, and I am going to knit these 2 stitches together. The first 2 stitches, the first row is a little bit tough because I think I did it tight. Yeah, I'm a tight knitter, so took me a while to grab this one, and I'm going to knit this together just like this. Okay, and don't split the yarn. So again, 2 strands. I did not play around with the color. I just grabbed from the end and from the outside. Oh, jeez. It's going to be tough. The first 2 stitches. Okay, so I finally knit those 2 stitches together. It's a little bit tough, so I'm going to pull this. Here we go. And then we're going to start knitting. Okay, the first row, I am going to purl. Again, if you want this in written, just email my email address, funkygirlsworkingshop@gmail.com. You can go to my about section and then just email it to me that you want a written pattern. I'm going to charge you 5 if you're a Canadian, 5 Canadian to do an e-transfer. You can e-transfer it to me, and I will give you a different email address for that. If you're in the USA or different countries, I'm going to charge you 5 USA because of the PayPal fee. Yeah, everything, there's a fee. Nothing's free. Yeah, I've been getting lots of messages. Send me the pattern. Excuse me. I'm going to charge you for that if you want a written pattern because I have to sit down and write it. But this one, I did take notes. And yeah, for days I've been working on these two hats, so this is one of them. And as soon as I finish this, I will come up with the second hat that I have been knitting. If you want to see more pictures, go to my Instagram page and you can see them. Okay, so let me finish this all the way around. I should have put a marker right here, but I didn't. So I'm going to grab a marker. Okay, so that is going to be the first row. And you can use a marker, you can use a yarn, anything you want. And so this is when I come here, I know that I'm going to start a second row. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm going to start row 2. And on this row, we're going to just knit every stitch. Oh, I put this on the wrong side. I thought I was at the beginning. No, here it is. I don't know. Oh, this is where I was counting the stitches. I do apologize. I haven't finished row 1 yet. I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm at the beginning. I got confused there. Okay, so I'm just gonna move the marker right here and I'm gonna start knitting. So we did purl and the second row is knit. So we're gonna continue this up till I believe row 10. Yeah, row 10 until we have total of 5 ridges. So we're knitting the brim area, that flapper area of the hat. We're knitting this part here and it just shows up. So it's total of 5 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, after we finish 5 on row 10, we're going to start doing decreases to make the head of the hat so it can fit. So this is of course this is big, right? This is the brim. This is the area that just looks fantastic when you put it on. So continue knitting until you have 5 ridges, and I will be back to show you how to do the decrease. Again, this tutorial can be a friendly beginner. It's super easy, nothing complex. So yeah, so I'm just going to continue knitting and I will be right back. So 1 knit, 1 purl. So the next row is going to be purl. The next row is going to be knit. So that's how we make the ridges. I really like how this is turning. Yeah, but try to use yarn in your stash that has wool in it. That gives the stiffness. That's what we're looking for. That so it can, the hat can stay nice on your head. Okay, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I knitted total of on the 5th one. See, when you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we're doing the purl. So we're going to do the knit stitch on the 10th row. So we're going to start right away. Okay, so here is the knit stitch. So I'm going to purl that last one, and then we're going to start a new row, which is the 10th row. So what we're going to do is we're going to knit 2 together on every 2 stitches, and then we're going to continue knitting 2 stitches until we come to the end. So I will knit 2 stitches on the 10th row again. Okay, I will finish this, and this is how it will look like. Okay, I'll be right back. Meanwhile, while I was knitting, I thought to myself, you can use DK weight, 3 strands of DK, even make it 4 to give that chunky yarn thickness to knit a hat. You can add eyelashes. I don't know, those tiny pom-pom yarns. I have lots of those, so I'm going to use up my stash. I think I have a ball or 2 that I can add on this brim. just to give that nice effect look, and then go from there. Okay, so just wanted to give you a tip that you can use up your yarn from your stash. Okay, so I'm going to knit the last 2 stitches, and then you should have total of 50 stitches on your needles, because we started with 100. I'm not counting that 1 stitch because that was just to knit 2 together. Okay, so what we're going to do is the next row is going to be a purl. From now on, put your marker that from here, counting, if you count your ridges, see, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, this is the 5th one that we finish. So counting from here, so this would be 1. That included, we're going to be knitting total of 19 ridges, just round and around. That's all we're going to do. Knit until you come up to 19. And then after that, we're going to do the crown area, which is again decreases. But, so I'm just going to put my marker, including this one, to know that this is number 1, and then including this, total of 19 ridges we're going to knit. Okay, round and around, and I know we have half, so just continue knitting, and I will meet you up at the crown, up to do the decreases, and we're almost finished. Yeah, uses up lots of yarn because of the knit and purl, and it gives this effect. And yeah, even this yarn is a little bit stiff. If there was wool in it, you can feel the wool. So by all means, just use the stash in your yarn in your home. But if you have anything wool related, just add that as a second strand and give that nice stiffness. So the hat, so we don't want the hat to be soft. Like this one has bamboo in it. Even that bamboo gave the softness to it. But other than that, I would highly recommend something wool in it. You can work with cotton as well, because cotton is thick as well. That will work as well. You can try it. I haven't tried it. So, yeah, just recommendation. 4 weight. It has to be 4 weight times 2. So 2 strand like this. And then you can go from there. So let me knit total of 19 ridges, and I'll be right back. Okay, I've been knitting so far. I think I have 9 ridges, so I still need to knit 10 more. While I was knitting, I moved it to a 16-inch circular needle around, and it's the same number 7 knitting needles. So while I was knitting, I said, let me just wet these. I mean by wet, you can't wear it like that. It's like ruffle, right? When you look at it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I did on the hat on this one. See how it's straight? So to do that, I'm going to show you how to do it. I am going to wet block it with water. Of course, this can be done when you're done the hat, but I just wanted to show you while I'm at it. So what I do is I just put a little bit of fabric softener. Those wrinkle bounce, I believe it's liquid, Downy liquid fabric soft, just a little bit, teaspoon, and then fill it with water and just shake it. I use distilled water for this because it stays here forever. And what I do is I just wet block it like this with the spray. On both sides, just the brim area, just like this. Spray it until it's totally wet. Okay, and then you will see that it's going to be flatting around, and just gently pull it, just like this. Oh, look what I did. Looks like because of 2 strands, I missed a strand. So I'm going to fix that when I come. So I'll just put a marker there that where I know. Yeah, because knitting with 2 strands, it happens. So you have to be very cautious. Can you see? That one was not knit. So I have to go back. I did fix couple while I was knitting. Lots of hosts doing tutorials, they don't show these techniques, and then you figure it the hard way when you're working on a project. And I totally understand how you guys feel, watchers trying to learn something. So that's why I try to include everything on my tutorials, every techniques, every secret, tips, and so on. So it would be easier for you to understand. Otherwise, it is confusing. So just like this until it's flat. I know we do this at the end, but I just wanted to show you. Okay, so see how it flattens? If it was wool, because I noticed this the first day that I put it on my head, it was a little bit wet. It wasn't dry totally. So with the iron steam, I kind of wet blocked it, and I think it felted because it has wool in it. So when you have wool, it's totally different story, and you need that felting a little bit in the wool. So yeah, if you have wool, I would highly recommend you to add that 1 strand of yarn. Even sock yarns would work, definitely. Yeah, just like this, just wet block it, and this will do the trick. Okay, so I'm going to continue knitting. I just wanted to show you because I didn't like the ruffle look when you're knitting a bucket hat. And again, on the wrong side as well. Okay, I will continue knitting. See, that's what we're aiming for. I'll be right back. Okay, no matter what I do, you can see that there's a seam that it looks like it's been sewn together, but it's actually the row change, so it creates this line. Yeah, I just need to figure out how to get rid of that one. But yeah, so just ignore that. I said 19 rows, but it depends on your yarn, so I would just measure it. This is 16. I just finished 16, and I'm looking at it until I come to the crown, so it should be 5 inches, and this one is over. See this part? So it's this one is like 15 centimeter, so I don't want that long, just to point out. So I'm looking at this one, and this one fits perfect. So this one is 5 inches, as you can see. See, it really depends on the yarn. Just measure it, 5 inches. Extra. Yeah, this is 5 inches as well when you look at it. But this one is 16 rows. Yeah, so I'll just knit after knitting the 5 rib. This one doesn't matter. We need to knit the 5 rib. The wider the brim is, the better it is. And after knitting 1 knit 1 purl, you can knit 5 inches. On this one I knitted total of 16 ridges. So we're going to start doing the crown, doing our decrease. Okay, so here we go. This is the row that we start doing our decrease. So knit 1, knit 2, and knit 2 together. Okay, I'm going to put markers on this one because it's really hard to see. And if you notice, every time I'm doing a decrease, it is on the knit when we're doing the knit. My stitch marker is stuck. Here we go. So I'm putting my marker here, and I'm going to repeat this: 2 knit, 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 and knit together. Okay, so I will continue doing this row like this and putting markers on each, because like I said, it's really hard to see what we're doing when we're doing the decrease. It's really hard to see because I had a hard time trying to find where did I do the decrease. Okay, so let me just finish this row and I'll be right back. Okay, so I did total of 12. Put my markers 12 decreases. And then what I'm going to do is on the next row, I'm just, I did the 2 knit, did the decrease and 2 knit. And then I'm just going to continue doing 1 row purl. After with this one row purl, I am going to be knitting, making decreases again. And then we're almost done. Okay, let me just finish this row and I'll be right back. I finished the purl row, so I'm going to knit the knit row and then start doing my decrease. So knit 1, knit 2 together, as you can see, it's a little bit tough to knit the 2 stitches, the 2 strands of yarn. Okay, so again, this row is the decrease row. Knit 1 and decrease 1. So I'm going to continue knitting, and then when I come back I will knit the purl row, which is just purl on each stitches. We don't do anything on the purl row. Okay, I will finish this row and I will come back to show you how to do the last decrease. Okay, so I finished the row and now I am going to start a new row, which is the decrease. As you can see, this is the last decrease. So I'm just going to knit 2, 2, 2. That's all I'm going to do. And if you're having a hard time like I am, it's really hard to pick up the 2 stitches, you can use a crochet hook because it has that hook right at the end, and then it's easier to pick it up. This is what I've been doing because it's really rough. The needles are big, the yarn is thick. So what I've been doing is I've been doing this. So this is a way you can use and this is a 3.5 millimeter, so it's not that thick and it's easy to grab it just like this, and I'm holding it on the needle because it's only how many 12 stitches it's going to be total. And if I have more, because of the silicone I don't have space to move them. If I had a other crochet hook, what you can do is you can move it to here just like this. You don't have to do it, it's just a trick that, you know, tips that you can learn. And you can just move these stitches just like this, and almost finished. But I'm going to knit the purl at that would be the last row. Yeah, we need to knit the purl to give that last ridge look, and we're done doing our decreases and finishing the crown. When we finish the crown, ta-da, the hat is finished. Okay, so let me just continue knitting 2 stitches at a time, and I will be right back. Okay, so I have finished the last row. I did purl all the way in and we're done. So I'm just going to remove the markers, cut the yarn, and I just need a little bit of yarn. So I'm going to go through on each stitch, and I'm going to weigh how much yarn I have used. So this is the leftover, because there was 289 gram of yarn. Okay, so go through each stitch just like this. This is the easy part. And then I will pick each stitch just like this. And then I will remove. Okay, so I'm picking up the last stitches, almost done. And ta-da, it's done. Just like this. I'm going to try to shrink this hole. And to do that, the best way is to go around that hole to shrink it. And you just pull as hard as you can. See, it's gone. So let me just weave the end of this and I'll be right back. Okay, it's really hard to fit into the camera. I just wanted to show you how it looks like. But let me just hold it this way so you can get the idea. See what I mean by if you knit it with wool, this will be just straight like that one, the purple one that I showed. So I did measure. So there's 170 gram left. So it used half of the ball of yarn that 283, so I used 170. So it's almost half. So I can make another hat with this. By all means, you can make two if you want. But like I said, if you put wool in this, this will be... So this one has wool in it. And I tried to felt it as well. And I think it turned out pretty good. See what I mean? How the brim just nice and smooth. So I hope you liked this tutorial. I just wanted to share you this my excitement. I've been working on it for days and finally, ta-da, it's done. Just to show you again, this is the wool and this is the acrylic. Can you see the difference? So knit something. If you have wool in your stash, the yarn, definitely go with it. Yeah, so stay tuned for the next tutorial that I'm going to work on. That's going to be different, but again, a bucket hat that I am planning to make, and I will start that on tomorrow because it's pretty late here. So I don't know what time is it. It's pretty late. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, please do subscribe, share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to hit that notification button so every time I post a new video you will be notified, indicating there's something new for you to watch. You guys take care. I'll see you on my next tutorial. Happy knitting! Bye bye!